To be aware of what's going on in pre-construction in the GTA. Lisa, how are you? It's the first time, I swear to God, that we are live, like simultaneously, in Instagram, Facebook, and all our platforms. Thank you so much, system, for
allowing
doing us.
Yes.
Yes. So today we have very exciting topic, which is pre-construction.
Very controversial, by the
Very,
way.
very controversial, love it or hate it, to be completely honest. But yes, you guys are gonna hear all the tips that we have for you. We have been in this industry for a few years now. Myself over 13 years, and Elisa over 10 years, and we have experienced a lot. Let's put it that way. So we want to make sure that if you're thinking to buy a pre-construction, you know what's going on in pre-construction.
Yeah, right. And I would like to open this with some quick facts about the industry, what's going on now, so you understand afterwards why would that be a really good opportunity for you. Because we're gonna be talking about pros and cons. But at the end of the day, if you really like level what's going on now, I would think it's a pro, right, instead of a con. But anyway, we let you decide. So we're just going to be elaborating on the topic. So first, I would like to shoot these quick facts, and I have some notes here, okay? There are 900,000 condominium units.
900,000.
In Ontario, okay? This is in the entire province. There are about 900,000 condominium units and over 11,000 condominium corporations across Ontario. That means these are already registered, over 11,000 in Ontario. And when we talk about the city of Toronto, there are currently over 2,700 registered condominium corporations just in the city of Toronto alone. Meanwhile, over 20,000 new condominiums reached occupancy last year in 2023 in the city in Toronto, okay, marking a 3-year high. A record number of units, more exactly like 26,000 units, are scheduled to go for occupancy in 2024. almost 27,000 are scheduled for occupancy in 2024, if they really make it for occupancy. Because let's see what is happening now. In 2023 was one of the most difficult years for the GTA condominium market, pre-construction by the, as a matter of fact, just as high mortgage rates make it harder for investors to close on their property. Because we have, Carla and I repeat this endlessly, all the variables like higher interest rates, all the dynamic that we had with inflation. So many people who were due for occupancy couldn't make it. And that didn't not only hurt the buyers, the investors, but also hurt the industry, the developments. Over 22,000 new condominium units went unsold in the GTA alone in the final quarter of 2023. 22,000 units went unsold. This is a number, it is a record high, up to 41% year over year. 41%. And last year was only the third time in the past whole 20 years that annual sales were below 13,000 units and marked the slowest year for new condo sales since 2008.
Yes, literally, the condo market, especially in the GTA, is mostly owned by investors. And when the
Yes.
investor has few units that, obviously, with the interest rates hike, um, and they are, in a tight type of a scenario, there was a lot of condos put in the market. So definitely, it is a reality right now in the condo market, and
Yes.
I like it was the perfect combo to literally affect these to this extent the pre-construction, because yes, interest rates go up, the value goes down depending on when the investor bought this condo. Why? Because if it was prior to pandemia, some investors actually make a little bit of money, but some of other people that bought in 2020, 2021, 2022, closing in 2023, was really, really tough because the value it went down, meaning that
Yeah.
if a bank said like, oh, you know what, yes, you qualify for a mortgage and everything is good to go, but then you have to put an additional 100,000 because the condo that you're buying went down, then buyers were like, where am I gonna get this 100,000? Or also happened that, they go, they put their down payment and everything, they think that the closing cost is just as much as a regular closing cost, which is not.
No.
It could go. I can tell you from my own experience, because my parents invested in a condo. They ended up actually um, paying $24,000 extra. And I share with you this because I want you to make sure that if you're in this situation and you're about to close, you sort of like have time to prepare for this closing cost. So if you are investing here in a condominium to rent, chances are that those 24,000 are gonna you can actually claim it back. But if you're thinking to sell it and um, and um, and you want that $24,000 back, the answer is no. The moment you sell it, when you are buying a pre-construction, the HST goes directly into the government's pocket. So be very, very careful when you are an investor.
Very
Now,
well said. Yes.
what do you need to know about when it's a primary residence? So um, get prepared. There is going to be a lot of opportunities, like Elisa was saying, because there is a lot of pressure right now on prices, and people are unable to close pre-construction. So, meaning that obviously, the builder needs that investment back that they put. So there's
Yeah, they offering amazing incentive now that for
yes,
you to get
and
into the project. So, and there
yes,
are so many. There are over 100 new projects in the city, and
whoa.
they are going so slow, depending on on in the area, but they are really going slow. So if you see a phone number, or I just a banner that it says pre-construction here, just
Yes.
approach them and ask for information. You're not going to lose anything, because they are providing incentives. Before, I mean, there was nothing to negotiate with them. It was what they had, and there was no way around it. But now it's a really good moment right now to get into it. So don't just take for granted what we're telling you here. Go investigate. They actually will offer you in advance in this very nice flashy papers, glossy papers, exactly what they are willing to, how they help you. And some of them, they're even willing to pitch in with your interest rates, for X
Yeah.
time, 1 to 3 years. They
Yeah.
1% is on me from all your from your interest, because they really need to
Close
close the
and
project and move on, right,
exactly.
to the next
Yeah.
investment.
It was like, as I said, like it was the perfect combination. Remember that also during the pandemic, the inflation went up, and the prices of lumber, the prices for them to be able to build these places also went up. So is a real thing going on here. So if you are looking for pre-construction, it's a really good time for you to invest. However, you really need to make sure that you go with your eyes wide open to know exactly what you are getting into. And having a
Yeah.
real estate agent, I wouldn't suggest for you just to walk in their office and ask for incentives and stuff like that. I will suggest for you to contact um, Elisa Hajusek, and she can actually tell you what's going on, like like if this
And that's a
um
really good point. That's a really good point, because when you arrive to the location, they will actually want to know. They will ask you if you are by yourself or if you are with an agent. So I always recommend my client just to register with the agent's name. In this case, would be my name. So also the developer knows you are not standing alone, that you
mhm.
have a team, right? Because Carla and I were doing this day in and day out. However, for you, there are many, many things. This is a completely different animal, guys. There
uh,
are many, there are many
I
different
don't call it an animal, I
roles.
call it a beast.
A
I call it
beast.
a beast.
It's a
No,
very
seriously,
different
guys,
beast.
seriously.
Yes. So, and you don't lose anything. So yeah, go get yourself informed, but go as a team, so you are well represented at the end of the day, because really, like, your real estate agent, your real estate lawyer also is paramount here. And of course, Carla, as your to evaluate your
Yes,
standing financially. Now, if you
I'm gonna
go
be
and you
completely
do,
honest. Yes,
if you
when
do the project, if you go there, you do the project, you fall in love with with the layout and whatever it's gonna look like in 3-4 years from now, and you're doing the contract, that's okay. Doesn't matter if you walk out of there and you say, "Oh, what have I done?" Because you're gonna have a, typically, traditionally, that used to be a norm, but not anymore. But traditionally, you have this, what we call the 10 cooling off, a period of 10 days, that you can actually change your mind. What happens during those 10 days? You actually submit all that information to your for the financial evaluation to Carla, to the mortgage broker, to your real estate lawyer, because these are not standard 4 or 5 page documents as when you are buying or selling resale properties.
I
These are
get it
huge,
all the
a lot.
time.
There's so
Carla,
many
do you need
papers.
the purchase and sales agreement, the 50 pages? Yes.
Yes, yes,
The lender needs the 50 pages that you're gonna get. It's like a thing
yes.
like this thick that
So you
that we
really,
need
you
to
really need
submit.
an expert. You need your real estate lawyer for right off the bat, from the start. And there are different processes, and then also you can negotiate up to a point. The fees,
Exactly.
that
Exactly.
but then they can tell you right off the bat, we are capping this kind of fees. But you still,
Exactly.
if you don't
Exactly.
ask, you don't know if they move them around. You don't know that,
Exactly.
right?
And like, you, as much as you get into the contract, you want to have another way to get out of the contract.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things that you need to make sure is that if you're walking into the office, or you have Elisa on your side, that you check if you have um,
Oh yeah.
um, an assignment closure, meaning that if you
You're
are unable to
allowed.
close,
Yes, that
allowed. Yeah,
you
the
close. Yeah.
assignment, yeah, is basically you own the paper, but you can transfer it to somebody else that
I
wants to
know that
close
the
it.
assignment you have to also, most developer tell you that yes, they allow the assignment, but then they say it may cost $5,000, for example, if you want to have the availability to actually be able to assign in the future. And believe me, from now until 4, 5, 6 years from now, you don't know exactly what's happening in the future. I would cover
Exactly.
myself, definitely.
Exactly. No, 100%, 100%. And if you do an assignment, if you buy the property in assignment, that's a completely different animal.
Again,
So,
again,
yeah,
yes.
so it's reconstruction, assignment deals, like it's so you really need to make sure that you are aware of what you're doing when you are buying in pre-construction. Okay, guys? So, just to tell you the truth, right
Please
now,
do tell us the truth.
yes. No, I honestly try to do these lives as honest as possible, even though sometimes I can scare people. I'm sorry, guys, but I'd rather tell you the truth. Um, However, just make sure that you run your particular scenario with, if you want, with me, because each scenario, each person is a totally different thing. So, um, what I was going to say is that when you are in this process of pre-construction, um, right now you actually can get very good incentives, like Elisa was mentioning, but also really good prices. At the same time, um, the government, for example, is allowing for those people who are putting less than 20% to extend their amortization for 30 years.
Mhm.
So this is very good in case you are closing um, after August 1st. Okay, so that's a way, like, for example, if you talk to your builder and you have an idea of how much is going to be your closing cost, and you say like, oh my god, I have 20% but I don't have the closing cost, now we can finance it in the mortgage. Why? Because you can put less than 20%. That's one. The second one is that some lenders, not all the lenders, that's why it's important to go with a mortgage broker um, instead of only a bank, because some banks do not allow to do this. But some institutions are allowing you to do your financing with the market price. So if the market price is higher than what you are actually buying, you can actually finance some of the closing cost. So it's really good, guys. If we are able to put some of the pressure of all these costs and stuff like that, because you are, closing very soon, and why not? Make sure that you give me a call. And also, if you are entering into an assignment, you have to have a very good real estate agent. Why? Because you don't want to be the one responsible for the closing cost. If you can leave it, the closing cost, with the person that you are having the assignment with, so they are actually paying that, and you are just paying whatever it is, like it was resale, that's another story. So make sure that you're very well represented, is all I'm going to say here, because it is gold to make sure that you go with somebody that actually knows what they are doing.
Yes, and I just wanted to add here, this takes us a special personality because pre-construction is not the same as resale homes. It's like when you are putting your money in the investment market, in the stock market, right? So it's similar. Pre-construction traditionally would be considered the higher risk end of the situation of this investment part. It's high risk because you can earn a lot or lose it. You must have heard many smaller developers, for example, they cannot close and they return you the deposit years later with no interest, for example, right? Or it may happen that suddenly this project is good and after 4 or 5 years, you really are making good money just before the occupancy.
Yes.
Now, where's the secret? The secret is to know who is the developer and who is the builder. There are better ones than others, some have better reputation than not, because also you want to know when the occupancy comes, they actually do it when the time comes within a 6-month bracket, instead of, like you mentioned, Carla, sitting on trying to do the occupancy for several years, right? Why is that? Because while that documentation is not finished, you are not paying your mortgage monthly. You are paying literally something like the rent to the builder. So you are not making your equity. You're not making equity in that end, even though on paper the unit is appreciating slowly, but you're not making that. So you need to know many different ends, what to tackle and how to prepare 100%. Yourself. You know, Carla, I always say, as far as you don't have surprises, it's good because you're gonna be prepared for A, B, and C,
I'm
right?
gonna be honest, Elisa, pre-construction has surprises as of, oh, guess what? We're not gonna be able to close this year. We're gonna have to close in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. I have seen as much as 5 years.
Well, I know. I live in it was like that here where I live, we waited 4 months. Fortunately, it's small.
No, 4 months is nothing. 4 months is nothing. But I want to tell you also the good part of pre-construction, because I have seen that part too. I have seen clients doubling the purchase price.
Yeah.
Period. Doubling. But I also have seen the opposite, and it was like just recently, of course, when they bought it, and unfortunately the prices went down, and the interest rates went up, and everything went bananas on that sense. Yeah. But we're talking about opportunities here, and I do believe that there is opportunities at this particular time. We just want to make sure that you go with your eyes wide open, because it's not a straightforward type of transaction, but like, we're immigrants. We know that like, when you really want something, and you put all your efforts and everything, there's gonna be some headaches, but at the end of the day, you are gonna get a very good deal. This might be one of those type of things. And I'm not saying that it's gonna be like that, but I just want to make sure that that if there is a little bit of headache, is sometimes normal in this type of transaction.
And you have to level what are your pros and cons in every project in pre-construction where you get in. For instance, I'm sure why you're right now listening to us talking, because you probably think there's a lot of advantages going into pre-construction, because you can have a contract on paper, but you don't have tenants to deal with. You don't have maintenance to pay. You don't have a place to maintain and keep the update right in it. So it's just a document that you can put on your desk and wait for it to mature, let's say, right? So exactly. There are also many advantages to that, because you are not doing the active work of a landlord, let's say. So and then you level exactly what is more priority to you than the others, where you want to go with higher risk or not, and then we can take it from there. So Carla, please put the Calendly there in our links, so you can call Carla or myself and make an appointment, so we can help you with any questions you may have if you're interested in here. But again, right now, this year, you have to take advantage of these people, of these builders who are crying for more contracts. So just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
And thank you very much. If you think this was of any interest to you or someone you know, please do not hesitate to share the link. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, and receive notification. Next week we're gonna be live on Tuesday instead of Friday. We're gonna
And
be
you
live
know
on
what?
Tuesday.
Yes, and I think what I would like to share is successful stories. I want to share like how people actually are buying right now, because a lot of people are just like, Carla, like this is impossible. No, it is not impossible, guys. People are still buying in the inflationary period, so make sure that you follow us next week so we can share with you some of those success stories. Thank you so
Excellent.
much, Elisa. I really
See you
appreciate
next time.
you always, and see you next week. Bye.